guys, I'm back with another video. This is another MJV video. So I believe that's 2 MJV videos in a row now. This is called True Female Stalker Horror Story Animated. So I think that it's saying that it's a female stalker. So you don't really hear these often, so this one ought to be interesting for sure. Based on the unique title. Because obviously normally it's guys, because guys are trash. Not all guys obviously, but a lot of guys are trash, so. Which I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys. You guys probably simply already know that, so. Let's go without further ado. Let's go.
So, I've heard similar stories, and I figured I should share my story and see what other people's take on this is. Because to this day, I'm still baffled by this experience. Anyway, I was living in Austin, Texas at the time, but I had flown out to Los Angeles for the weekend. My friends put on a yearly music festival at a biker bar out around Joshua Tree. Just a relatively small thing, compared to Coachella and the like, where most of the attendees are also musicians, and everyone knows each other.
Okay.
So, we drink. Heavily. For 3 days or so. By the end of it, you tend to need at least a week to recover. So, I was flying back to Texas, wildly hungover and miserable and completely drained. I had a flight from LA to Dallas, and then a quick hop to Austin from there. I was seated by the window, on the left side, where there are only 2 seats.
Okay.
Seated in the aisle seat was a middle-aged woman, totally unremarkable, just your average Texan mum. We made polite small talk for a few minutes, but I really felt like doing nothing but curling up into a ball against the wall and passing out. So, shortly after takeoff, I put in my headphones and started watching a movie on my iPod until I fell asleep. Throughout the movie, I thought I noticed her trying to look over my shoulder and watch the movie too.
She is.
And then mumbling something like, "Oh great, just ignore me." This happened several more times.
Jesus.
But I convinced myself that I was just misreading her. Eventually, I noticed her furiously scribbling writing in the margins of a beat-up leather-bound book. I kept peeking over at it, noticing that the entire book was filled with unintelligible chicken scratch in pretty much every bit of the available space in the margins. I also noticed it was an Alcoholics Anonymous book. Whatever, I thought. Just someone with some issues. I eventually fell asleep. I woke up as we were landing in Dallas.
Jesus.
People started getting off the plane. The lady makes zero effort to start packing her things up or get ready to go. She keeps sitting there, scribbling in her book. As I said, I'm wildly hungover and kind of cranky, and I have no patience for anything that's prolonging the time that I have to spend on this airplane. It gets to our row, and it's her turn to move into the aisle. And again, she does not move at all.
I'll say, "Move, bitch, I'm gone leaving."
The rows behind us now start to leave. I finally say, "Hey, I've got a connection to catch, so I have to get moving here," gesturing towards the aisle and standing up. She laughs, shakes her head, looks up at me and goes, "Oh, no. You're not going anywhere." I was confused.
Excuse me.
My mind was not at its sharpest that day.
Who the frick do you think you are?
I responded with, "I assure you, I am going somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm getting off this plane, now."
Yeah.
She shook her head again
Yes.
and said, "But you promised me you would never leave me." Now other people who are leaving the plane are also looking over at this exchange, also baffled, and I make eye contact with a few people, giving them that, "Can you believe this look?"
Well, I would just
I
move
began
that bitch
edging my way out
yeah.
of the row, saying, "I certainly never said that. I'm leaving now."
Bye.
As I edged past, she sighed and said, "Well, I guess I gotta go with you then." At which point, she stands up behind me, leaving her purse and book and all her belongings on the plane,
What?
and follows me out. All through the tunnel, and through the terminal, and up the escalator, this woman follows at my heels, grinning like a madwoman the entire time.
Okay, I'm just gonna call security because
I'm
you're a
walking
psycho.
fast, but she's right on my heels. I didn't say anything at first, And my mind just kept saying, why is this happening now?
Right?
Of all the days.
Right?
I just did not want to deal with whatever the hell breakdown this woman was having.
Right?
Not with the way I was feeling. I eventually get to the waiting area for the monorail
It's so
to the
annoying.
next
It's like, can you
terminal,
not? I'm trying
where
to
my
leave.
connecting flight is. And she slides up right next to me, still grinning. At this point, I say,
Bye.
alright, seriously, why are you following me like this? Her response this time, because I love you, and you promised me you would never be apart from me.
I did no
laughed
such thing.
nervously and looked around at the strangers, also waiting for the train, making sure I loudly announced, no, I did not promise that. I have no idea who you are.
Good.
The train
He's
arrives. I get
Where'd
on
she
it, and obviously, she follows. Now she's trying to hold my hand. I'm moving around the monorail car, texting the girl I was seeing at the time about what was going on, and how I'm actually kind of terrified by this woman. My phone was at 1% though, and it died before I could get a response. I was actually starting to get severely creeped out by this woman. Her eyes were completely vacant. There was just nothing but emptiness in her stare. She didn't even blink. Coupled with her unyielding grin, I was becoming sure it was only a matter of time before she snapped and proceeded to stab me or shove me down an escalator or something.
That's her face. That's what she looks like.
She's still grabbing at my hand and following me as I shove around the tiny train car, and I announce to the other strangers, I have no idea who this woman is. Seriously, can anyone get a hold of security or something? Everyone responded with silence. I guess nobody else wanted to deal with this either. I felt like I was becoming the crazy one now, making random statements to a train full of strangers. We finally get to the other terminal.
Yeah, but if it was a girl saying, oh my god, this guy's following me, they would be like, oh my
with
god.
her right behind me still,
Like,
saying things like, you can't get away from me this time.
this time? I don't even know
I
you.
get to the gate and spend a moment scanning the crowd. I see a woman in what looked like a police uniform waiting, and I say, excuse me, are you security or police or something? You see, this lady is... But she just shakes her head at me. Everyone in the crowd just does their best to ignore us.
What?
You would be amazed at how hard it is to find security or police in a damned airport these days when you really need them.
What?
Finally, I go up to the desk and shamelessly interrupt the agent standing there. Doing my best to maintain composure, I put on a half smile and explain to them, hi there. So this woman standing right next to me here, I have no idea who she is, and she's been following me for quite some time. Both the agents laugh.
What?
The male one makes a comment like, oh, long vacation, huh? Seriously, what can I help you with? The crazy lady laughed with them,
It's like everyone's like
rolling
under
her
some
eyes
kind
at
of like...
my absurd assertion that I didn't know her.
It's like everyone's like...
I chuckled, shook
What?
my head, and said again, no, I mean it. I have no idea who this woman is. They finally saw the desperation in my eyes and the seriousness of my tone, and their smiles faded. Can we see your boarding passes? I handed him mine. She produced hers from her pocket as I continued explaining. She was on my previous flight. She even left her purse on that plane, all the way in the other terminal. The agents speak with themselves off to the side for a moment, while I completely ignore this woman, just swatting away her hand as she tries to hold mine for the 100th time. The agents make a few quick, hushed calls, and then come back over to me and just say, come with me.
It's weird. Come with me.
They
Where?
immediately whisk me through a door and slam it on my pursuer, and I'm loaded onto the plane about 10 minutes before any other passenger.
Okay.
A stream of staff filters through, each one offering me a new apology. Eventually, the rest of the passengers get on, and they all shoot me glances as they pass by my row. Some of sympathy, some of sheer confusion. The man who sits behind me asks, "Hey man, what was that?" I give him the brief version, and then he tells me this. "She had a complete and total meltdown the second you got on this plane. Screaming, tearing her hair out, pounding her feet. They took her away in handcuffs. You really didn't know her?" Nope, I didn't. To this day, I still wonder all the time what the hell was going on with that woman. I've barely even told this story to many of my friends because it's just so unbelievable. I never received any other information about the incident. I never learned who she was or why she thought I promised her anything, let alone eternal companionship and love.
Right?
To this day, when I think about the look in her eyes when she said, "You promised me you'd never leave me," my skin crawls. So effing weird.
Wow. Alright, one sec. I'm not gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna check for something. Hold on. Okay, because I heard the kettle going off during the video, and I really did not want to pause it. My dad freaking fell asleep, so I know I was turning it off. It was going for like 2 minutes. It was like whistling, and I'm like, oh my god, stop it, shut up. Ugh. Anyway, I really didn't want to pause the video, so I didn't. Anyway, okay, so like that's the thing about like stalkers and stuff. Like people always just assume it's gonna be a male, and then if a female, any female, could literally come up to a police officer and say, Damian Chris is following me or is stalking me or doing something weird, they're gonna come to the house and arrest me basically. If it's a guy, then it's like, oh, yep, like you're automatically a criminal because this girl says you are, like, no. But then the second a guy says, oh, this girl's like having issues, this girl's following me, it's like, no, no one believes you, no one cares. Vice versa, oh no, totally different story, you're in handcuffs on your way to jail right away. That's the annoying ass part. Because if you're a guy, then it's like, nope, you're always looked at as the bad guy. Even if you're a good guy. You're fudge. You're looked at as the bad guy just because you're a guy, and that's really annoying. Like, it's really not cool. It's super annoying. Like, I can get it sometimes just because like girls aren't usually that, but like just because a guy says, you know, like, this person's following me, that doesn't mean that's not true just because it's a girl, not a guy. Or just because it's not a girl saying it about a guy, you know? I don't know, it's just really weird. I just don't like it. But that's the way the world works, so girls are apparently whatever. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of girls obviously are victimized, so I get it, but like just because it's not that way, a guy's saying or a girl's saying that a guy's doing it, like if it's the other way around, that doesn't mean it's not true. Like a girl can harass a guy, a girl can rape a guy, it can happen, and then people act as if, you know, in articles I notice it'll just say woman forces sex on girl, or no, woman forces sex on man, but then for a guy it says man rapes woman. It says man rapes woman, but if a girl rapes a guy, nope. Woman forces sex, no, rapes. You cross that shit out and put rapes. That's just the difference between males and females. It's just so like stereotypical and just really annoying. I don't like it. It's so annoying. But that's gonna be my story, or my reaction to the story. But again, it's definitely really creepy. Like you're just trying to go on a plane, like you're just trying to go somewhere. On flights that I've been, I've met some people, and like we've actually like it was actually pretty cool. We talked, like it was good. Like they were normal. I didn't have any creepy encounters. Like it was good. Like, you know, I can't even imagine like something like this happening. You know, it's creepy and like really bizarre to me. Like really like peculiar. But I guess this stuff does happen, right? So anyway, that's gonna be it for this reaction. Please be sure to subscribe if you have not done so yet, because I saw that 95% of you guys are not subscribed at the moment. So please, if you guys do enjoy my content, please subscribe down below and turn on the bell. Please give the videos a like if you do like them, and be sure to comment down in my Instagram, comment any suggestions you have, and then down in the comments, comment like what you guys thought of this video, and what you guys thought of my reaction. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.